What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today we're going to talk about the Radiomaster Boxer Crush, and it is available in 7 different colors. So there it is on the bench, the Boxer Crush radio controller. It's the M2. It is $189. This one is an ELRS version, like most of them. It is also available in so many different colors. Let's just scroll down here so I can show you Boxer Crush radio. It reminds me of something from the early 2000s. You guys might remember the iMacs series that came in multiple colors. Everybody bought one, it seems like, back in those days, and now we have 7 different versions of the Boxer Crush. And it is, the only thing different on this radio is literally the case and one other thing that I'm going to tell you about in this video that I did notice on mine that's different than my original Boxer. If we scroll down a little further on the website, you can see they have Mint Mist. That's kind of cool. That's the one that I wanted for the Drone Camps green, and also Iceberg Blue, which is kind of cool. I almost got that one because I do dig the blue. And then there's also Lemon Twist Yellow. I mean, check out these tasty colors. Yellow if you want, and Hot Pink, which is cool. Iron Gray, which I'm also kind of a fan of the Iron Gray, and Cherry Red. That one kind of stands out. And also Frost White. The Frost White reminds me of the classic Free Sky White X7 back in the day. And go back up to the top, and literally all the features and everything, the specs in here are pretty much the same. They have the CNC aluminum AG01 Hall gimbals, which we have as well on the other Boxers that we have out there. And it has adjustable RF output. It does not have a folding antenna. That bothers some people, but this literally screws off within a couple seconds, and you can put it in your case. And I usually take the antenna off in my case because I also have to store my Crossfire module inside the case, and I can't really put my Crossfire module in there at the same time with the antenna on the controller. So that's one thing to think about if you're running this particular module right here, which is the full-size original TBS Crossfire module. Take this out, unscrew this, and everything fits inside there. You can see I'm not even running my ELRS antenna on my Boxer Max. And if you've never seen it before, this is the Boxer Max in comparison to the Radiomaster Crush. So, you know, I mean, you can go full bright colors, or you can do this carbon fiber look, Max Edition. I just really like this kind of carbon combo with the gold look. Just a little more bling there. And I've got my couch potato, what I call these gimbal covers right here. These are nice because they kind of like fit your thumb right in the center. It's kind of concave right in the center with that little spade. And these were made by a company called Bestem Aerial. And again, I call these thumb couches. They just feel really good, and they're not so pokey like a traditional stick. But one of the things that I did notice on this, the other thing that is different about the Boxer Crush, is that the sticks seem to have been changed as far as the ends of the gimbals. If we look a little closer in at these gimbals, they're just shortened a little bit as far as the spikes that stick off the end of the gimbal, which I really like. It's a little more comfortable. It's not quite as pokey. We do have some super sharp ends on some of the other types of transmitters out there, like the T20, for example. You can see this transmitter right here has quite a bit sharper ends on these gimbals. One of the things that annoyed me about the T20 is the fact that this radio, while it kind of looks like a Boxer chopped in half, they made it rounded on the bottom, which really bothered me because whenever I would put it on the bench and try to stand it up, it would do this. Just kind of fall over. On why you would make a rounded bottom on radios that will never ever stand up, and it doesn't have a kickstand on the back either, so very annoying about the T20. Now there's also a competitor out there you guys might know about, you might have heard about. It's Jumper's T15. I'm gonna have a full review on this one coming up on the channel in comparison to this hot little toddy right here, the green version. So there are some major differences between the two. We'll talk about those, of course, coming up on the channel, but let's go ahead and look at what's in the box. And it's exactly the same case as we've seen before on all the rest of the Boxer radios. And if you're wondering, like, why is this radio so popular, it's because it's in between something super small like the Pocket, which is kind of the economy radio. This one is the mid-size radio, which I love this format, and it's smaller than the larger TX16S. The TX16S is down there in my steel case. I still use it every once in a blue moon, but this is usually my daily go-to radio. You can see it fits inside the case, the same as it was before. It has a strap across here. It comes with this little accessory which goes over top of all your switches and your gimbals to keep those safe during transport. And the antenna fits on inside the case that they give you. And again, if you want to put your Crossfire module in there, you're going to have to take this antenna off. It only takes a few seconds to be able to get everything in there, but the Crossfire module does fit in there, which is cool. You also get a quick start guide and some Radiomaster stickers, which is cool. I've seen these tons of times. We should probably add those to our build mat down here with all the rest of the company stickers. Kind of nice they give us those. And also in there you get a screen protector, which is great. I've never even used one of these, but you always get that inside the box. And you have a nice little pouch here for extra antennas. I put my diamond antenna in here for my TBS Crossfire module. You get a keychain of a Boxer as well. You get the QC stamp of approval there, so it has been looked over. You also get some extra springs, a little tiny, looks like maybe an M1 type of driver there for adjusting the tension on your sticks from the front. They have tension adjustment points here. You can kind of see the holes in the front of the gimbals. So if you want to loosen those up, they usually come a little bit tighter from the factory. And then also in here we have a USB-C cable, which can charge your 18650 Lions from the top of this radio. So USB port right there will light up everything on the front here, and you'll see that it's charging, and the lights will go out when it's done charging. We've got our speaker here as well, and right now I've got 18650s in this radio, and it does come with Edge TX open source firmware on this one. So you can run either Edge TX or you can run OpenTX depending on what your needs are. Now this is running 2S batteries only. You can also get the 6,000 milliamp battery. I'll put a link down below for that one. It does also come with an SD card, so that's kind of nice. And a huge battery bay, which is great. And I'll tell you, like my 6,000 pack, I rarely charge it. I don't know, it seems like every 3 months I have to charge it, and you know, we're flying a lot on this channel, so that's great for me. Really nice. And again, all the same switches. We have the adjustment pots up front. We have the recessed switches here, and I usually use this one for the arm switch, as well as simulator support on this. All pretty much the same. Press and hold here, and it starts up, and it has that sort of monochrome LCD screen here. And it doesn't have any type of color screen. So that's one thing to think about. So these are the two most used radios on the channel. The two Boxers on the left right there, the Max, and now the Crush edition is available. The original TX16S was what came out after Jumper's T16, which we all used for a long time because it was a 4-in-1 radio. And the 4-in-1 radio let us bind up to almost anything. Later on, ELRS came around, and then all of us started kind of switching over from Crossfire to ELRS because it's just a little more readily available. It's cheaper. It's not proprietary firmware and things like that. It's community and open source, which everyone loves. And now these radios run the new OS, which is Edge TX. So everyone's moved on from using OpenTX to Edge TX, and these do have the latest versions of ELRS firmware on there as well, so you can bind them up to the new receivers. You don't have to do a whole lot of updating for the most current receivers, which is great. It should bind up to the most current receivers. I know a lot of people out there are having problems with ELRS updates and updating the receivers and the internal radio module. That is a process. I do like that Crossfire does automatic updates on a new receiver. When you get it, it'll ask you on the back of the screen when you go to bind it up, it'll say, hey, would you like to update the receiver? And what it's doing is it's making the receiver match the current firmware on this module. Even if this module firmware is older, it will update a newer receiver to match the module. So that's super cool. I would love to see the ELRS had some type of automatic update like TBS Crossfire. Maybe the guys Wesley and those guys could come up with that sometime in the near future. It really save a lot of headaches in the hobby, because I know you guys have some problems with ELRS, myself and Joshua Barwell and others included. It can be finicky sometimes, but it has grown in popularity and it's reliable. So I'm loving ELRS at this point. $189 for a Boxer Crush, 7 different versions, which is kind of cool. Again, it's like the iMac right now of hobby radios. But again, like 16 channels on there and really nice AG01 gimbals. So I think that for the price, this one is decent. I myself prefer the Max version. I just like this carbon fiber look with the gold. It seems to be just my go-to radio. And that's what I use all the time. And when these guys ask me, what kind of receiver would you want? A lot of times I try to get TBS, but I think TBS is becoming less and less available on a lot of binding flies now. So most of the new binding flies are running ELRS, which is finally getting easier to bind up and deal with. So the Boxer Crush, it's now available. You can check it out, my link down below. It is an affiliate link. It supports the channel. So if you enjoy what we do here, bringing you show intel for new products and drone news, you'll find all of that right here on the channel. So the latest and greatest FPV hobby stuff, RC helicopters or RC cars. And I'm not forgetting about you RC car guys. I will definitely bring you some cool new FMS crawlers coming up soon on the channel. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But for today, it's all about the Boxer Crush. And they're out there in the wild, guys. You can grab it. It's 189 bucks. It's not gonna break the bank. And I was telling my girlfriend this morning, this radio does everything that I need it to do. So that's the honest truth about the Radiomaster Boxer. I do enjoy it. And I will bring you a full review of the new Jumper T15 coming up as well, because that will be for you. If you haven't bought a radio yet, you'll have to decide between these two right here, because right now, and Diego and I were talking about this yesterday, these look so similar, but there are some big differences between these two. First and foremost is price, and the rest we'll get into in the review, the full review on the T15 coming up. But they're all looking pretty cool, right? So let me know which one's your favorite, and maybe which one you currently use or which one you might buy in the comments down below. Make some comments, like this video, please, because you know the YouTube algorithm is kind of bringing us down. So I would appreciate your help boosting the channel and everything you do. Thanks again for commenting and supporting and subscribing. Guys, take care, and I will definitely see you on the next one.